said, this is a great segue into today's topic. So if you've been with me, you've seen that I've kind of been walking you through the 4 steps, the stairwell, to intentional living, right? And those are those 4 steps of acknowledging your dreams, living by principle, executing by process, and winning by practice, right? And I'm going to go back to that in the next couple of weeks. We're actually going to do another session on executing, because I think it's going to be good. It's going to be important. But I wanted to break it up because this is the 4th Monday of the month. This is the last Monday of the month. And what I do every last Monday is I do something a little bit bigger than just a weekly review. I actually do a monthly review because I want to look back and reflect on the month and see just how far I've gotten so that I can plan ahead for the new month to come. And I'm going to bring you along on that journey today. Okay. So I'm super excited about that. But before we get into all of that, into this intentional topic of the week, I want to kind of break down the why of it. Like, why is it so important for review in general, and definitely a monthly review? And then I'll kind of sprinkle in the 4 steps, right? Now, if you're interested in kind of walking through this, I actually am going to be sending out that email today by noon. So definitely get on the mailing list. If you're catching this on Spotify, you missed that email, and I'm sorry, but you'll get it next month. Okay. So make sure you get on the email list. The link is going to be down below, but I'll break it down in more detail on that email. And if you ever wanted to work with me on that, I got you. Just reach out. Links below. But yes, so the main thing with this is, I was actually thinking about the review and reviewing my own month. And I was thinking about end of year reviews. Now, last year for work, or every year for work, we have to review our year. We have to put together this narrative of all the things that we've done and why we deserve to have a high rating. And I was doing my review at the end of the year this year, and I did a lot, y'all. I earned every cent of my salary. Okay. All right. But nonetheless, I was looking back throughout my year, and there were things that I forgot I did. Like, there were literally big things that I forgot I did. And if I did not actually review my month, or if I did not keep good notes, I could always do better. But of all the things that I did, I would have missed out on some really big projects, some speaking engagements, like things that I got to do at work that I was looking back and, like, I don't even know what month it was, and I was like, I did that. So it's just so key and so important to review, because you miss out on the key things that you've done in your life. So that's why it's so important. It's so important for 3 main things. Okay. It's important because it helps you to celebrate you, and it gives you confidence in who you are. Because if you know that you killed it last month, if you know that you killed it last week, then you will be a little bit more likely to believe that you're going to kill it again this week, right? So it's so important to look back and celebrate your wins. It's going to help you keep your goals to the forefront. Every year there's people that write out, not the people that are with me in intentional living, right? But there's people who be like, I'm going to, I don't know, lose 50 pounds. I'm going to write 10 books. I'm going to do all of these big things. And then they come to the end of the year and they haven't done any of it. And that's not because those goals weren't probably in line with what they desire, not because those goals weren't, like, they didn't put together their life plan and they set up their life in a manner that they desired, not because those goals weren't important to them, but solely because they did not have a regular way to review, a regular way to look back. So that's why it's so key to do these regular reviews, to do the weekly reviews, the whole point to this podcast. That's why it's so important to do your monthly reviews and all of those different things, right? So definitely, it's important to keep your goals in the forefront. And then also it keeps you locked in. Because if you're constantly looking back and saying, okay, I didn't make as much progress as I wanted to this month. Well, now it's the opportunity to rectify that, to change something up in your life, change something up in your schedule, change something up in what you're doing, right? And it's so important because you have a plan, you have a purpose here on this earth. And if we're not paying attention to that, we may miss out on what we were called to do. So it's so important that you are monthly reviewing. Okay, so let me break down the 4 quick steps, the 4 steps to monthly review today. All right, the first step is to write a list of what you have already done. So it's kind of a little bit more of what we talk about, that one good thing, right? Where I talk about, let's talk about what we did last month. Writing down all the things that you have done again accomplishes so much for you. One, it shows you that yes, you are not useless. Yes, you do get things done. But then two, you really begin to understand just how good you are at what you're doing. So much about living intentionally is actually understanding who you are and living in the confidence of who you are, living in the I love, there's an author, I'm failing at her name right now, but she coined the term godfidence, right? The fact that it is God within us that gives us that confidence. Well, it's God in us that has pushed us to do grand things, and if we don't take time to review them, we miss it out. We miss out on all those things that we said that we were going to do. So write a list of what you have already done, not what you got to do. Because I'm sure you got that list. If you're with me, then I know you got that list, because that's who I am. I got lists for days. But write the things that you have already done out. For me, it's going to be that I got that podcast up. Okay. Let me tell you that is the win of the year so far. Okay. That I got the podcast up, that I restarted my podcast, that I'm getting stronger every day, right? With working out. What else have I done so far this month? I finished a blanket. I made a blanket for my niece, and she loves it, by the way. But I made a blanket for my niece for her birthday. I got that done. I restarted doing crochet and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many different things that I got to accomplish, and that makes me feel a little bit more confident that I'm gonna accomplish some big things in March. So what have you done? What have you done in February so that you can move forward and be excited so that you can march forward into March? That was corny. I know. I'm sorry. But definitely get in there and write a list of what you have done. Okay. Then the next thing is to read through your goals. And if you haven't, read through your life plan. Again, this regular review, keeping your goals, keeping your things in front of you is what's going to help you continue to move forward well in life. Okay. So read through your goals. You may not have to really study them, but see, is this goal still something I want to accomplish? Is this something that I still want to hit off? Where am I? Okay. You're going to review that and kind of look through your goals to see if there's things that you need to tweak, maybe goals that you need to drop. We do a whole lot more or in-depth review every quarter. I actually call it I call it the reset. So check out for that as we get near the end of this first quarter. First of all, we're in the last month of the quarter. We're almost about to be in the last month of the quarter. That's wild to me. Anyway, that's not why we're here. But yes, review your goals, review your life plan. You should have a life plan. If you need help with that, I got you. Links below. Anyway, and then review progress on active goals. So one thing that I teach is that you may have a whole list of goals. You may have 10 goals that you want to hit this year. Not all of them should be active at this very moment, because we can't handle a bunch of goals all at once. You're going to notice that you had the capacity for certain things and capacity for certain amounts of things. And typically the idea is that you can only really focus on 2 to 3 goals each month. Okay. Each quarter, excuse me. So, I encourage people to only focus on 2 to 3 goals and to actually set up your goals in such a way that you can accomplish them in quarters. So now you should be reviewing your active goals. Okay. I have 2 or 3 goals that I want to hit this month, this quarter. So one for me was to get on Spotify. Another for me was to continue to work out regularly, which I'm doing. uh, but we have a couple more on there. And then the final thing to do is to write the next 2 things that you can do to move forward in those active goals. That's self-explanatory, right? Write down 2 things that you can actually get done immediately. Like, don't do anything like big. Don't write some big lofty thing. What is the next thing that you can do in your goals? Make it that simple, right? Don't think about 10 weeks down in the future. What can you do this week? Okay. All right. So those are the 4 things that I want you to do this month, this last Monday of the month. I'm going to be spending some time this week doing that. And I encourage you to do the same. It's so key. Again, the whole point to intentional living is that it's a journey. It's something that you're going to continue to do as you live, as you walk, as you live in life, right? And you cannot do it all in one moment. But if you're living your life intentionally, you're going to continue to see big, audacious things happening in your life because you're intentional with every single moment. All right.